right? You want to get things in their raw form, right? Fruits and vegetables, you get them and you eat them raw. Those you can eat raw, okay? Don't cook them. Unless it's something obvious like a potato or something like that, okay, cook that. You don't really want to eat it raw. I guess you could, but it'd be kind of rough. All right, now, let's talk for a minute about the danger of drugs. And again, this is not an exhaustive study. There's so much more research that you can do about this. Drugs, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they were actually using heroin and cocaine and things. And I'm talking heroin and cocaine, okay? I'm not being silly here or whatever else. They were using heroin. I'm going to put up a picture here of Bayer Pharmaceutical, or Bayer, if you want to say it that way, from Bavaria over in Germany. The infamous Bayer Pharmaceutical company, one of the biggest on earth, I think actually the biggest on earth. And they were actually selling heroin in pill form for your pain. All right? And what you need to understand is that you have your modern drugs like Excedrin, and it is an opioid. It's based on opium. Heroin comes from the opium plant, and from the poppy plant and things. They get opium from that and refine it, and you get heroin. There's a lot of ways that you can refine it and chemically alter it and stuff like that, and that's what Excedrin is. So that's why you have people and they say, "Man, the only thing that takes my headaches away is Excedrin. Excedrin migraine. I can take that stuff. My headache's gone just like that." Well, yeah, you're taking heroin. I mean, you get some pain, you come along and some guy goes, "Hey, I can take that pain away quickly." Well, really? How? Well, here, just take a little hit off this pipe of heroin, and you'll forget all about your problems. You wouldn't say, "Oh, wow, it must be good for me then." It's a drug. And the bad part about it is, the more you take the drug, the more sensitive to the drug you become. So in other words, your headaches get worse over time, because you become addicted to the drug. Again, I speak from experience. I used to be an Excedrin addict. I'm telling you what. And at first it was like, I got some pain here, taking Excedrin. Whoa, that really worked quick. And then as time went by, it was like, oh, it's just not working like it used to work. And oh man, my headache's back again. Oh, I can't believe it. It just didn't take it away this time. Yeah. You got to watch out for that. Acetaminophen, if I'm saying that correctly, aspirin, is one of the most toxic things out there. I'm telling you what, people die from this thing quite a bit. And, you need to do a little bit of research into the reality of aspirin. Again, extremely bad. Very, very, very toxic for you. Again, like I said, I can't get into all this stuff. But what about natural pain cures? Over-the-counter stuff, prescription stuff is out of the question. And again, I heard this stuff years ago and I was just going like, you don't understand. I struggle with the pain. I have to have this stuff. It's ironic because even when I first got married, I was saying that to my wife and she's like, I don't take anything for headaches. It's bad for you. It's really toxic and stuff. And she showed me a lot of the information and I'm like, but you don't understand. I have to have it. That's what drug addicts say. Did you ever think about that? Why? Because I was a drug addict. Didn't even realize it. I mean, you get Christians that live very, very clean and never would even think of going down to the street corner in the city and buying some kind of illicit street drug, but yet you're getting the drugs, the same thing, just chemically altered a little bit from the pharmaceutical companies. Buying over-the-counter drugs and things, or prescription drugs if you go to the doctor, they're just as bad as the stuff, many times even worse than the stuff on the street corner. It's bad. It's very, very, very bad. And a lot of people don't think about it, just as I didn't think about it in the past. But what about natural pain cures? Well, herbal remedies are many times synthetic. Okay? Sometimes you'll get things, I'll show you here, sometimes you'll get some kind of an herbal thing and it's good for you and stuff like this, and in reality it's actually synthetic. Let me show you here. Here we have one of the things they say, it's really good to take garlic. Make sure you get lots of garlic in your diet. Right there, Puritan's Pride. And yet you look at the back, where's the ingredients here? Hopefully you can see that. Again, that's about as close as I can get it. I'll read it to you here. It says soybean oil, gelatin, vegetable glycerin, and silica. All right. And again, a lot of these things, soybean oil is a GMO, a lot of times genetically engineered type of plant. Very, very high in estrogen, which is a female hormone. That's why a lot of people that are men that take a lot of soy-based things like vegetarians and stuff, they'll start getting very effeminate because they're being loaded with female hormones. Soybean stuff is real bad for you. Very, very, very bad. You should not be eating soybean anything. Really, really bad. But another thing that they'll put in a lot of times is cellulose. You'll see that. Cellulose in natural type cure things like this. And I'll be talking more about headache stuff. I realize that this is not specifically headache medicine here, but I'll talk more about the headache stuff here in a minute. But you say, what is cellulose? Well, I have some right here. Isn't that amazing? Cellulose. That is cellulose. You know what it is? Sawdust. Yeah. And you see modified cellulose. What is modified cellulose? It's cellulose that's been put through chemical processing to break it down and to make it more sticky. And the chemical processing that they use a lot of times is hydrochloric acid. And I've done the research on this stuff. I've been desperate for a cure, okay? So you can look into it if you want to, but trust me. So they're putting sawdust, they break it down to a very, very fine powder, and then they chemically treat the stuff, and then they stick it into the pills as a binding agent. So you get, these are gel capsules, these garlic pills, but then you'll get the other ones and they have the little, the little capsule that slips together and stuff. You open it up and there's powder inside. But then you get the hard pill. The hard pills almost across the board are made from modified cellulose because they need that binding agent to make it. They bind it with the other chemicals that they put in, and then they make it into the little pill form that you get to swallow. So you are literally ingesting acid-treated sawdust. Yeah, that won't lead to headaches or other side effects, will it? Bad, 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 bad. Really bad for you. But what about some of the few, there's herbs out there that they say are good, and you'll see this thing, headache cure or something or whatever else, and it's all natural, they say that. And it'll have stuff like feverfew, skull cap. There's a couple others that they'll put in as these herbs to take away headaches. It's basically like the natural version of Excedrin. Well, first of all, I can tell you right now, if you're getting headaches because of poor diet and muscle tension and things like that, the herbs aren't going to take it away. I mean, I tried it. I tried different things and stuff. It doesn't work for 1 second. And that's why a lot of people will say, oh, I tried the herbal stuff. It doesn't work. Well, herbs, you have to understand, are not actually the most potent of natural cures. They're part of prevention. They're not really the kind of a thing that you can just pop some herbs in your mouth and you're better. Some are more potent than others, but again, it's part of prevention. So you can't just say, well, I'm just going to, just get some kind of a quick cure thing. It doesn't work that way. But a lot of times too, what you'll see in these, I had a bottle here someplace, I think I probably threw it out by now, but there was this headache cure stuff. And, as we've been learning more and more about chemical additives and things like this, I remember my wife was looking at the back the one time, she's like, wait a second, it's got modified cellulose in it. Chemically treated sawdust. And it's got this and it's got that. And I'm going, oh man, it's not making me any better. And again, it was really not that effective. So I'd stay away from pills that you can take to cure headaches, because that's not, again, you're dealing with symptom management. You're not dealing with actual prevention of headaches. That's where you need to get to.